Welcome to another episode of SAGAS, a channel where we science the shit out of our favorite anime, games, and all sorts of other stuff. If you're already a member of the Geek Army, I salute you. But if not, go ahead and St. Louis smash that subscribe button and then set your notification settings by tapping the bell icon. Today, we're going to be discussing the tech that separates the best from the rest in Dragon Ball Legends. But before we bring power to the people, hit us with that drop, and let's get started. The contents of this video will make some of you very happy. Happy that the secrets to why people are able to dominate you so readily are brought to light. Others? They're going to be mad that their competitive edge is being given away for free. However, it's my sincere belief that competition is not only what makes this fun, but that it breeds innovation and precision. The best will once again rise above, innovating new tech and executing more flawlessly the existing. And at the end of the day, isn't that why someone should be best? Because they keep going until no one has the skill to follow? Either way, you're here now, so grab some popcorn and enjoy the show. First off, you're going to hear me say a lot of times this phrase. So what is the combat loop and why is it so important? A loop in general is something that has the same end as its beginning point. In other words, the entire goal of going around a loop is to blur the line between beginning and end by following a path of infinity. You're probably thinking, oh great Socrates, thanks but no thanks, I'm here for Dragon Ball Legends stuff. But just wait, because here's where it gets relatable. You ever had one of those matches where the opposing player is always one step ahead of you? Feels like every move you make is perfectly countered? This is the work of a well-executed combat loop. Loop begins with a full vanish step meter and ends with a full vanish step meter. The entire goal of everything you do during the time along the loop is to arrive at the point you started at, the point where you had a full vanish meter. So how do you get there? Well, here are 5 techniques to help you get there. First, the bait. There are 2 techniques to bait your opponent's vanish out, allowing you to begin a safe combat loop. The first one, and probably the easiest, is the Ki Blast tap. Shown on your screen now, this is a single ball of ki that triggers the warning symbol no differently than using a yellow card would. So how can you tell the difference? Well, look at the hand movements. In the first clip, you'll notice a single hand moving up and behind the character's head. The second clip, on the other hand, engages both hands around the character's side. Identifying these differences are crucial when trying not to be baited. The second is a dash tap. This looks like the dash preceded by landing a Strike Arts card, and your opponent can even be baited into losing their vanish with a tap strike. Because of the differences in the distance of these 2 techniques, they have advantages and drawbacks associated with them. The ki bait is safer because we do it at a distance, but the odds of success are smaller the farther away that you are. The dash attack, on the other hand, is much more risky, but has a much better chance at getting your opponent nervous, therefore committing his precious vanish meter to this encounter. Next, let's talk about the lean back. This technique buys us time. It buys us time to read enemy movements, such as the above mentioned bait techniques, and then respond. It also gives us more time to regenerate our vanish meter, since attacks have to travel farther to us. If your ki is low, or you don't have a vanish meter, it's best to lean back. After the lean back, we've got the dash slide. This technique allows its user to regenerate small amounts of ki and draw cards between combo attacks. Dash step was preceded by the strike slide, a move that did the same thing but only worked after using a strike card. The dash slide works on both cards, strike and ki, but is more difficult to execute. As seen on the screen, it greatly extends your combo potential, and perhaps most important than anything, is that this technique allows its user to regen vanish meter as well. This technique cannot be interrupted or stopped once it's begun, unless the user messes up the timing and/or runs out of ki. You can only do it by dashing at your enemy a fraction of a second before your attack animation finishes, then before you run into your enemy's staggered body, slide to the left and queue up an attack in rapid succession. While you're learning, try using 2 fingers, one to dash forward and another on the other hand to slide to the side, and then begin learning to do it all with one hand, because doing it on 2 hands isn't incredibly practical, but it will help you progress towards the goal. Finally, we've got our shoulder jerk. There are times that you can't bait someone and they force you into combat before you've established an advantage. The enemy attacks, so you vanish, but the enemy at this point is mentally prepared for you to counter, so they begin nervously swiping left. After all, your character is only centimeters away from their face, so there isn't much time to react. This is where the shoulder jerk comes in. As seen on your screen now, there's a window of time when the enemy tries to vanish step, even though you have not attacked. They jerk their shoulder and jump to the side. Right in the middle of this animation is a dead zone, where even if they were to swipe left, immediately afterwards they would not be able to vanish step anything that you do, meaning you can safely enter a combo and work through the combat loop back to a fresh vanish meter. This takes practice, and patience, and nerves of steel. Both the nerves of steel and patience come with practice, so just keep at it. Ultimately though, all of this requires us to have a full understanding of our vanish meter. The vanish meter, as we discussed, is the entire goal of the combat loop. So knowing what stops it from refilling is crucial when dealing with tight windows. Tap attacks, art cards, and rising rushes stop the meter from refilling. So does the dash forward. All of those are acceptable uses of our time in combat, but be wary of tap attacks, because those, while they can be useful for baiting things out, you should never really do them when you don't have a full vanish meter. However, the most lethal ability to your vanish meter is the key charge ability. You should never, and I mean never, perform this ability unless your vanish meter is already full. Period. If you see a good player charging key, that's a good sign that they have their vanish meter back. If you've taken full advantage of the above techniques, you should be left with a reasonable advantage in terms of damage done versus damage received, and even have your rising rush ready to go. Even the best combat loops can be thwarted though if you are hit by the one-shot kill known as a rising rush. Consequently, landing yours can be the difference between winning handily and struggling to win. So our final tip is going to be concerning the rising rush itself. If you suspect your opponent has a rising rush available, make sure you have a unit with low HP ready to swap in and take the rising rush. Assuming you don't have a unit with cover damage, of course, who can survive it. Deciding who takes the rising rush is one of the most important decisions all game. Don't let your opponent decide for you. Next, landing your rising rush and doing so on the character you want requires a little bit of trickery. Rising rush has a priority over everything except the blue cards, meaning any card other than a blue card will not phase you if you use your rising rush when they use that card. More important than even this is that the opponent cannot switch out, dodge, or otherwise stop the rising rush from landing on the person using the arts card. This means that you're always going to hit who you want and secure not only the advantage in the moment, but more than likely the game. Thanks for watching, guys. On the end card, you're going to see a couple links to other videos. You're going to see our top 10 teams in PvP, and you're going to see these crazy pulls for the Bardock banner. If you like this content, please don't forget to hit subscribe, and we'll be back with more content. Have a good day, guys. Bye.